Hey there, Cristina Imre here. I'm so delighted to bring you Disney in this episode. It's fun and effective in the same time. Take it, use it for your business, and see the results for yourself. Just to get into the right mood or mindset, allow me to refresh your memory with some history. Don't be scared, it's motivational. The entire history of Walt Disney is a fascinating story, but I'll be brief. So, Disney was a creative genius, but who started his journey like so many others who became famous and part of history. Meaning, they were undervalued and disrespected by others, ironically in the same fields where they later on became famous. Take Einstein, Edison, or take Seinfeld, Oprah, just to name a few, were ridiculed as not having what it takes to make it in their fields. What's the main quality widely credited to Disney? I bet you'll agree that creativity is far in the top. So please smile at this. He was fired from a newspaper in Kansas because they concluded he was not creative enough. Isn't this ironic? It's peachy. So, forced to follow his true inner voice, entrepreneurship, he launched an animation startup by the name of Laugh-O-Gram. After this, a long journey started where he went through challenges from bankruptcy to being cheated and left without his Oswald character, but even more dramatic, without a staff, which was all converted by Universal Studios. He made characters that became famous in time, but when he did them, the public said no. He bought the rights for Mary Poppins after 60 years pursuing the writer in London every year. I hope you saw this movie with Tom Hanks impersonating Disney himself and Emma Thompson, who played the role of the hard-to-get author. Yes, the movie is Saving Mr. Banks. You could watch it again with your family this Sunday. Long story short, Disney not only thrived but used all those characteristics of the highly successful people in order to succeed. And, as you can tell, going through so many grey clouds for so many years, he needed to have a clear vision, perseverance, and hard work. In the end, he bought ABC in 1996, that same ABC who owned Kansas City Star, the newspaper which fired him in the past. I would graciously add here the best revenge success. Sounds like Steve Jobs' story, right? Or Sylvester Stallone's when he sold his dog for $25, then bought it back for 50,000. You see, successful people have similar traits. They don't give up when the vision and perseverance are in place. Let's go straight to the point. So, Disney was known as impersonating three Walts, and you never knew which one was coming into your meetings. That's because he was a dreamer, an entrepreneur, and a CEO as well. He used the different perspectives to approach his characters and his business, leaving out nothing. It all started with his three chairs. The strategy is based on his three chairs always found in his office, which were anchored to three states or perspectives. The first one is the dreamer, the second, the realist, and the third one, the spoiler. Let's see how we can envision this. A dreamer without a realist and spoiler is only a dreamer. A realist without a dreamer and spoiler is a robot. A spoiler without a dreamer and realist is just a spoiler. A dreamer and a realist without a spoiler has no quality standards in place. A spoiler and a realist without a dreamer is called bureaucracy. A dreamer and a spoiler without a realist is a bipolar roller coaster. So, how to use this in business? Of course, you can use the strategy with chairs, but in groups works best by preparing some spots such as papers named after the perceptual positions and placed on the floor. You can then take the group for brainstorms, problem-solving processes, new concepts. Everything that needs planning, problem-solving, or creativity can be worked through the Disney strategy. It was his creative strategy, but which was broadly used in business. You probably know that the Disney brand owns management products for all the industries built under an academic format. So Disney is a lot more than many people think. How to use the three perceptual positions? Okay, let's start. 1. Go into the dreamer spot and start dreaming. I mean, let every kind of fantasy idea come to the surface. This is not to think outside the box. It's beyond that. Quoting Disney, don't think outside the box. Once you say that, you've established that there is a box. So let your team imagine anything, envision any idea without any limitation. Someone could write the ideas down, or even better, use technology and record. Here you are free, there is no setting, expectation, limitation, nothing. You can envision anything, doesn't matter how outrageous or idealistic it is. The rule is that you have no rules. You are answering to what? And your thoughts are directed to the future. You can see what you want, you can hear the surroundings when having that thing, and feel the emotions associated to that thing. You are traveling into the future where your creative idea is living. 2. Once the ideas are out, you switch to the second position where the realist is. In this position, you are the project manager of that idea, vision, creative bliss. You are the CEO of that thing. If in the first position you were more entrepreneurial, here you are more like a CEO who has different responsibilities to make things happen. So you're answering questions like, what do I need to make this dream happen? The realist doesn't judge. He assumes that the dream, the idea, is achievable, so he just needs to make the plan, involve himself, building the road, the costs, the timelines, and the final deadline. He answers to how. He is in the real action mode. You relieve the wish of the dreamer in this position, but from the creator stand of view. So you need to understand it in a realistic way to can set up a plan. This state is for the present, something like, I need to make this happen, so let's go through it, understand it, feel it, and set up the right viable plan. The third position, the spoiler role, is similar to your inner critique. What could go wrong with this plan? What's not right? What did I miss? Here you have a past and a future orientation and see things both short term and long term. Disney used this position focused on the why, and his approach at the beginning was, I know something is wrong with this. What's wrong? Then focusing on the why, he asked those annoying questions. Why this way? Why not other way? Why this idea or plan at all? In the NLP model, based on Robert Dilts' book Strategies of Genius, Volume 1, after he studied Walt in great detail for years, you'll find a fourth position, a meta, an observer. From this position, you can set up the frame or go there after each state and shake it down before entering into the new position. Your final goals is to have a satisfied spoiler, a dreamer, and a realist in this order. So, spoiler, dreamer, realist, they all need to be satisfied. If the critique is not satisfied, I mean the spoiler, you'll redo the steps until your final plan got the desired agreement. The outcome needs to be, this is the best we can do. Your team now can break and take responsibilities to execute the steps that were traced by the realist. Some suggestions for you. If you want a bulletproof project for your future business plans, use this model. It's easy, it's fun, and can be done in different ways or settings. You could even create a well-known setup inside your company when, on a regularly basis, teams gather and solve current problems or gain perspective about what needs to be done. For bigger plans, you do unique meetings based solely on that plan. Doesn't need to take long. If you're thinking that it can be difficult and long, you can start with smaller role plays. Think about it. Even if you scan an idea through the three positions once, max for 1 hour, your findings will be priceless. It could also save you millions on the road by finding something extra which before was ignored or not at all perceived. In conclusion, everything that was produced at Disney went through this process, including Disney World in Florida, which launched after Disney's death. But he saw it because he relived it so many times before the first concrete steps were even shaped. The lesson of the story is this: we have different mindsets that are linked to the context. Create the right framework. Like when you are in a doer mood or pure labor, in that state, you don't see the big picture. Same way in reverse. When you are planning something, you can miss the flaws because your focus is on the steps, what needs to be done. We can use this in our daily lives. Identify the state you're in, and if something is lacking, change your perceptual position to view that missing spot from there. Or use an observer position, a neutral one, from where you can get a sense about what's needed next. This is such a powerful tool to be used in business. Don't let this strategy here. Take it with you, apply it, and see the Disney magic in action. I'll let you with another Disney quote. The way to get started is to quit talking and begin doing.